The workout?
Oh man, I was waiting for you guys. I thought it wouldn't happen. How's it
Good, good.
going, Cyrus?
Good.
Yeah? Oh
Hmm.
man, you have to thank your dad, man, for this moment that we can talk. Because he
Yeah.
did a magical job for us to make sure he made it happen.
Yeah.
Say thanks.
Yeah.
Thank
So how are you?
How are you?
I'm doing
Look at the camera.
good. Pretty good.
Yeah? So I know your dad is next to you, but today is your moment, my friend. I want to know everything about you. You can ask me anything you want. We got
Okay.
all the time. It's all about you. And I heard you're a righty. Your dad already told me you're a right-footed player.
Yeah.
Yeah? So how
Yeah.
old are you?
er,
How?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good as a soccer player, I feel like. And yeah, I feel like I feel like I could put in a little more work though in training besides practice though. I feel like I can do it.
Okay. How old are you?
I am 10 years old.
You're 10 years old. Okay. So tell me first, I want to know what's your biggest dream? What do you want to achieve?
I want to be a pro soccer player. That's
Great. I like that. I like it. I was like you, eh? So we are no different. So when I was your age, I think, I was 9, but at that time when I was 10, I was at Ajax. So I don't know if you are familiar with that club, but that team has a lot of young, great talents like yourself.
uh-huh.
So
AJ?
it's yeah, Ajax. You guys call it Ajax. We call it
Yeah,
Ajax. Sorry?
I played them before.
Academy
Their
Yeah?
academy. They were pretty good.
Oh, did you like
We
them?
Yeah.
in Manchester.
In Manchester Cup we played them.
Oh, okay, okay. So you got your questions and you got your list there. Are you ready to go?
1 second. I think my dad's pulling it up.
He's pulling it up. Okay, now you take your time, man. It's no problem. We can talk for long. Okay, so you're righty, right? So I heard you played a similar position as I am playing. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so you're right footed, you're a defender, so you like to attack then. You dribble a little bit?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so that means, look, when I was playing your position, I was always making sure that I was fitter than anybody in my team. So are you one of the fittest players in your team?
Maybe actually, yes. I
Okay,
might be.
that's good.
Hope I am.
So if you're not, make sure that you go jogging once a week with your dad.
Okay.
Just go jogging with him. Just say to him like, you don't need a ball. He can be on his bike if he doesn't feel like jogging with you.
Okay.
But you be running. That's what I used to do.
We
I
have a
always used to running.
we have a giant green belt in our backyard, and it's like how many miles, Dad?
Yeah.
It's maybe like 2 miles, but me and him used to sometimes go jogging. We'll start doing it again, probably.
Okay. Good. Good. So then, you need to get yourself like even if you do like 25 to 30 minutes, like once a week. Just get yourself going. Make sure you warm up good, eh? Before you start running, make sure you do a great warm up. Don't just run without doing a warm up. So do it first, your football warm up, the one that you do, and then you start jogging and do
Okay.
your run. Yeah? Because
Yeah.
then you're gonna be fitter then. Because I remember me when I was from Holland and I came to England, everybody was fit. Everybody was fit in England. And I was like, I couldn't play this game if I wasn't as fit as them or even fitter than them.
Yeah.
And when you get older, and I'm now an old man, but at the time when I was your age, I wanted to make sure that I was one of the fittest guys on the team. If not, I would have problems. So that's why I could attack a lot, and that's why you're gonna attack a lot because you're gonna be one of the fittest guys in your team.
Okay. I'll start jogging and
Yeah,
maybe training in my backyard with like the footwork.
perfect. Once a week. I'm expecting you once a week to do the magic.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
let me see. So okay, you ready with the questions? Because if not, I got more questions for you.
Yeah. I think we are.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you the first one. I
Okay.
was selected to go to the surf national team, and I will be training with them to play in Spain. What advice do you have playing in another country with other teams that uh, that are from a different country, like teams that are from different countries.
Now, so what I always say is this: look, you're a young boy, and if you're thinking about going to another country, I'm sure that your parents will back you. You know, like especially your dad. Dad,
Yeah.
I expect you to, you know, like to stand by him. But when you make the choice to go abroad, you always have to remember this: where you are now, you are a local kid, right? But when you
Yeah.
go abroad, you have to imagine in your mind, you have to say to yourself, I always have to be better than somebody that's from there.
Uh-huh.
You understand? It's because the competition is very high. If you are coming in and being similar as what they already have, then they don't need you.
Yeah.
You understand what I say to you? So you have to make sure when you get there that you are better than any player that's on that team, so you can really make sure that they need me. And when they need you, now you're making sure that you keep on playing. And when there's always a journey, and that's why I'm so happy that your dad is sitting next to you, and he will, you know, enhance this in the sense of it's easier to get there, but it's harder to stay there.
Hmm. My
So
coach.
always remember that.
Yeah, my coach tells me that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because look, I could make it to the first team of Ajax, and people will say to me, "Oh, that's the hardest thing." No, actually, that wasn't the hardest thing. The hardest thing was for me to be in England, for example, in the Premier League. For me, was like, you know, like, but staying there for over 10 years and
Hmm.
don't ever let anybody. I was never a guy that sat on the bench for a long time. I mean, in the beginning of my career, I had it, you know, a couple of times in Ajax, but when I came to England, I never had a long period. You understand? I had battles that I had to fight with people for your position, and you might, you know, have a one or two or three games, but don't ever be a guy that sits on the bench, because if you sit on the bench next to the coach, then you might as well be his assistant,
Yeah. I don't
right?
really that much on my team. I usually play most of the game, pretty much the whole game.
That's what you always want to do. Make sure that if anything goes, because in your career you're gonna have a moment where the coach might prefer that player or this player. Always go for the challenge and try to be better than anybody that plays your position. Why? Because see that person as you look at him and you say, okay, what does he has, what I don't have, and then you add that to your game, and you be better than that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I have
Okay,
this.
so if you go abroad, make sure you're better than any player that's there and don't ever look back. That's what I tell you. Don't go home all the time. Ask your parents to stay in the country where you are. Because when you go home too much, you're going to get homesick. You don't want that.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. The second question. What's it like being a professional soccer player?
No.
That's
What's
a
it like?
very good. I like that. That's a good question. Look, when I was a pro, I had a destiny, you know, like as a dream, right? I wanted to, like, I was 1 year younger than you, and I said to myself, I wanted to become a successful football player because I wanted to make sure that my country could, my family, I mean, could see the world, could see everywhere they wanted to go, and that was one of my biggest things. And I wanted to. I looked at my mom, and I said to my mom one day, I said, don't worry, you understand? I'll make sure that you can do whatever you want. And now, talking to you, it's like when we have a dream, and the dream is bigger than, like, I'm not talking to you about a dream like, let's say you say to me, like, oh, I want to play football. No, I want to be a professional footballer. No, I don't want you to go there. I want you to dream of standing on the football field and having people screaming about you. So if you have something in your head, I want you to think you are on the field at the team that you want to play for, and you hear the fans screaming your name. That feeling you should have as a young kid. And I want you to have that feeling, because that feeling will drive you every day to get that feeling. And that's exactly what was driving me. I was like, I wanted to be on the field and making sure that I could show my family the world, but then on the other side, I wanted them to watch me play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
watch me play in a full stadium was my biggest dream. And that was what I wanted to have as a professional footballer. And when I achieved that, I make them come to every home game. Away from home, I never wanted my family to come because I didn't like that much. Because away from home, I had no control. You know, I didn't know what was happening with them. I didn't want their safety to be jeopardized. But at
Yeah.
home, I knew everything was there. So that's why, as a pro, I think those were the achievements that I could handle, in the sense of making sure that I could make them travel the whole world and anywhere they wanted to go. So I think that
Yeah.
helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I,
So wait,
I,
before you ask me the second question, I want to know your biggest dream. What is your biggest dream? Tell me. It doesn't matter what it is. I want you to tell me.
to probably when I make it to pro, I probably want to be on either Barcelona or Argentina, and
Argentina.
or not Argentina, Barcelona maybe, but on
Yeah.
one of those, like
But you,
around like
but
the
Argentina is good.
yeah,
Argentina is good. That's not that. Look. Let me tell you something. I played for Holland, right? Because Holland was the biggest achievement. You understand, country wise, that I could go after. So as a football player, you want to have the top club. So you going for Barcelona, great, because Barcelona is a similarity. I don't want to say it's the same club, but there's a lot of similarities to Ajax. But when you look at Barcelona, then what is your country? Your country will always be the highest that you can achieve. It will
yeah,
be always bigger than any football club. Not because you don't like any football club or you want to disrespect them. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying that as a player, playing for your country is a different feeling. It's just different. No one that you can only compare that to people that have done it. Like a lot of people will advise you. You don't need advice. Go and experience it yourself. So for you, the best dream is having that jersey on of Barcelona, and then after that for Argentina, and hearing the crowd screaming your name. That is the dream I would love to have in your head.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Should we keep that dream? The dream
Yeah,
of people screaming your name?
yeah. I'll
What do
imagine.
you want it to be? I want it to be like Cyrus, 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 Cyrus. That's what I want.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
good is that? Listen to the sound of that. You know, like you play in the game and I hear somebody screaming your name, and like one starts and then two, three, and then the whole stadium because you made the greatest tackle. And then you're going down the line and they're screaming your name. Say, Cyrus, go, go. And you just keep on going. You either, what do you like? You like delivery or you like scoring? What do you like?
um, I probably like. That's a hard one. I kind of like both of them, but
No problem. What do you want that day? That day, what do you want that day to happen? You want to score or you want to deliver?
deliver.
Okay, so you go down the line and you cross the ball and you see the striker, you put it right on his head. And the only thing he has to do is stretch his neck and just head it. And then instead of the fans, they're screaming his name, but he runs to you because he respects you and he knows that you did the hard work. And then you both celebrate. And what jersey you have on? You have an Argentina jersey on. You don't have another jersey on. I want you to live that dream. I want you to remember that mindset, that thinking of that moment. Because there is a lot of people that always ask for, they say, yeah, it was impossible. It was difficult for me. No, don't find excuses for yourself. Find the possibilities for yourself. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I want to hear Cyrus, man. I'm watching. So you got me as a fan. So then you know. You don't need to look for anybody. If you're looking for someone, you know I'm in your corner. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your next one?
Why did you pick me to get to? Why did you pick me to do this interview?
Okay, I'm going to tell you. So look, I looked at some of your stuff, and what's very interesting for me is that you always want the ball. You always want the ball. You always ask for the ball. And I like that. You know why? Because you know what's the hardest players to be picked up? Is the one that's always on the move. That never stands still. So I like that you're always moving. I like that you're always asking for the ball. And of course, you know, you're a young boy and you wanna get better every day. And there are of course other things that you want to
Yeah.
get better at and things like that. It is like um if I give you something, so your dad is sitting there.
Yeah.
Dad, if I tell him something, you understand. I hope you guys can work on it. Like what I want him to start doing is that the advantage of before he gets the ball, I want him to look at the picture and then ask for the ball. So I want you, every time when you're going to get the ball, I don't want you anymore to ask for the ball only, because you always want the ball, and I like that. That's a footballer. If you don't want the ball, then you have to play something else. You have to play, make some ice creams or something. But because you're a footballer, you want the ball, because you cannot play football without a ball. So you ask the ball all the time, but I want you to do this. Look, I look right to see my picture, then I ask for the ball. Now I know what the picture is going to be.
Okay.
Yeah? So I
Yeah.
want you there to count how many times you're doing that in the game and in training. And every time he's going to keep the count, and he's going to say to you, oh, today you did it 3 times. Oh, today you did it only 2 times. And he's going to keep the count up, that it becomes normality for you. Because
Okay.
you're going to be quicker. Your game is going to be much faster. You don't need to tell, like you have friends or whatever. You don't need to correct them. Let them do what they got to do. You do what we just talking about. It's the sense of like, look at the picture. I asked the ball. Now when you get the ball, you know the picture already. So
Okay.
you know how you're going to control the ball. You know what you're going to do with it. You know if you're going to advance, if you're going to hold it, or maybe you got to play it back because you see someone coming tight to you. You see? So you got to do
Yeah.
one touch, or you have to control. You open up, you know your striker is on.
Yeah.
Because that's the fastest way to the goal, is the striker. Someone else can tell you the winger, but the winger is not the fastest way to the goal. Because the striker, that's why he's striker. Because he's supposed to score goals. So, yeah, so your dad is going to keep the count. I'm sorry, Dad, I'm asking you to help me out on this one. You understand? I'm not saying like you have to, but help me out on this one. You understand? Count the numbers for him and tell him after training or after the game, like, hey, I saw you only doing it 2 times. Why are you not doing it more? Because the best, I'm telling you right now, when you watch professional footballers and you watch the best, like I give an example. So you talked about Argentina. So I imagine you looking at Messi. If you look at Messi, you understand there is never he gets the ball without looking before. Because he already knows what's happening behind him. So that's what I want you to be. I want you to train that. And I'm telling you right now, my friend, your coach is not going to teach you that. I will tell you that. Believe me, what I tell you right now. So Dad, please teach him that, even if the coach is not teaching him that. Teach him that, because I know your coach is not going to teach you that. So
Okay.
that's why I want you to learn that. And you don't need to tell your coach. You become the player that knows and anticipate the situation that's happening.
Okay.
Deal? Deal?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Here we go.
Do you have any advice playing as a defender, since I play center back primarily?
Yeah. So you remember when we talked about like looking around you before the situation happens, right? I
Yeah.
want you to stand as a defender. I always want you to be like an how will I say? Growing up, I'm sure you watched an inspector or an agent, like a police. You understand? It's always looking at where's the trouble, where's the trouble. I want you to play football like that. You understand? Because I know that you focus on your man and let me take care of my man. But also you have to imagine you got 2 options, you got 2 things. One is your man and the other one is where can I help? There's 2 jobs you have on the field. And you have to remember that, because your coach will teach you 1 job. He will tell you this is your man, you got to take care of him. Okay, if you already took care of him, but the striker goes by in the middle, so on your left, you got to be there.
Okay.
You gotta make sure if the striker goes beyond him or he has trouble with the striker, that means that you gotta tack a little bit inside to help him out. So that's why I want you to be the fittest on your team. Do you see now what I'm talking about? I want you to be the fittest on your team, because when you're the fittest on your team, you're the fastest thinker in the team.
Uh-huh.
Did you know that? Did you know that?
Yeah, I did. Cause
Tell me.
like you're saying when the striker um goes to attack, right, with the ball,
Yeah, yeah,
and my team has trouble with defending him, right? You're saying
yeah.
that I should also cover like another angle. You're saying, right?
Yes, yes. Because you want the ball to go to your winger. You know why? Because that's the longest way to the goal. If the ball goes to the striker and the striker takes the defender on, that means that now he takes him on, he's straight to your goal. But if the ball goes wide to your winger or to the outside player that plays against you, it's a longer way. And I've seen you play, you're a tall guy, you're confident, you want the ball. So that's why we are never scared of who plays against us. Never have fear for anybody that faces you. Even if he's fast, if he is sharp, it does not matter. You have to make sure, like I told you, you're going to practice on the two things that I already told you. That will help you a lot. Because I've watched your videos, I've seen how you play. I will not know about you the way your style of playing is. I wouldn't have known that if I don't watch you. So I take my time and I watch all your ingredients and thinking, where can I help you and become an even better player than you already are? So like I said to you right now, I've seen you asking for the ball. I've seen you dribble. I've seen you take the ball from people. I see you do all that stuff because you allow me to watch it. And that's why I want you to work on that. You understand? Work on this first. Of course, I can add more things and things, but I want you to work on those two things. Making sure as a defender, I do my job, where can I help? I do my job, where can I help? You see those two questions? Ask yourself that all the time. If the striker goes past the defender in the middle, even if you say it wasn't my mistake because you won, that's not your man. You don't need to take his striker too. You got your man already. But you always ask yourself, could I have helped him a little bit better?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Always ask yourself that. Okay. Maybe a next question.
Out of all the teams you played for, which was your favorite and why?
For all the teams I played for, I think it's playing for Chelsea was big for me. But I
Yeah.
think, you know, the biggest thing was for me being a captain in a team in England is huge. You know, like I was in Wigan, and I remember the first time when I walked onto the field, and as a foreign kid, having the armband and
Yeah.
being the captain and the leader of the team, it was another responsibility, but the feeling was amazing for me to come on and feeling and motivating the team and being in connection with the coach and making sure that whatever happens, the responsibility is on you. So yeah, I say Chelsea was great. Ajax, of course, your debut. You will never forget your debut. But away from that, I think Wigan captaincy was one of the trademarks and one of the most beautiful things in my career.
Yeah. I'm the captain on my team too. That's
You like responsibility. That's why you're the captain. And I like that because you have to take responsibility.
It's tough.
it's pretty tough, yeah.
Yeah? You feel
Yeah.
that stuff?
Yeah, because sometimes people don't when I play center back, right? Usually. When I tell them to shift, they always walk. So I have to yell at them even louder and it just
Yeah.
gets me
So,
irritated. I'm
yeah.
trying to more
Yeah, but you know, when it comes to when people don't listen to you, right? Um, your thing now is sometimes you know what you should do. Sometimes you know when it's halftime or before the game or after the game, do it in halftime. Do it in halftime, and just tell them the things that they don't do. Just say to them like, look, and the coach is there because when the coach is there, it's a different situation. They cannot lie anymore. You could say like, look, guys, I'm expecting you to get up on the pitch and you guys just waiting. Why are you waiting? Why don't you just get up? It takes too long. Just follow me. I am the guy that dictates the line. So get up. And then the coach is standing there and he's hearing you talk. And then in the game, you do it again. And I know there's some responsibility for us when we talk as captains. Why the responsibility? Because we have to perform every time for someone to believe in us. Am I right? Because we have to play good. Yeah. If we don't play good, the guys are going to be like, oh no, don't follow Mario and Cyrus because they're not playing good. But if we play good, they have to listen to us. So this is why I'm saying to you, that's one of the key things you have to do. Make sure if they don't listen to you on the field, go at halftime and talk to them halftime. Say, coach, can I say something? And he says yes. And then you tell the problems you're having with the team. Yeah?
Yeah.
You ask the coach first. You say, coach, can I say something? He says yes. And then you say it in front of the group.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
I will read. Yeah, that's not just five. I'll read the next question. What helped you make it as a professional soccer player?
The goal was clear. You know, you have to have a clear picture, like what we talked about. I gave you another picture, the picture that you didn't think about, but I want you to implement that in your brain. When I said to you, I want you to have the feeling of standing on the field with your shirt on of Argentina. I want you to have that feeling in the stadium. You have to stand in the stadium with that jersey on and hear the sound. Because growing up, you understand, my greatest player, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but I'm sure your dad is familiar with Maradona. Dad, yes, he was my hero. You understand? Growing up, was the best player I've ever seen playing. And I was fortunate. Like one time I had him on the phone, but I never wanted to meet him. Because one of my friends called him. I never wanted to meet him. Why? Because I wanted to keep dreaming. That's why I never met Maradona. So I had a moment that I could go and meet him in, it was, I think, in Italy it was at that time. But I didn't want that because I wanted my dream to be alive, of not having seen him, but just heard his voice on the phone. But just going back to what we talked about, I think for you, the mindset has to be so clear for you. And what we talked about, I want you to think about it every day. If you have a photo, who's your favorite player? Tell me who your favorite player is right now.
Probably
Messi.
Yeah.
Do you have a picture of Messi in a stadium?
No, I don't.
Okay, so then you can ask your dad maybe to get you a picture of Messi in the stadium and hang it on your wall.
Okay.
Like, I don't want dad to get upset and you start sticking things on the wall and he might get angry on me. You understand? But then at least put the picture on a hanger, or, you know, even if it's not sticked on the wall, but then put it on something that you can see Messi and he has to stand in the stadium, and I want you to look at him in the sense of like that you one day want to be there. You might, you might not be able to be with Messi because he might already that time maybe, you know, stop playing. But at the time, I don't know. So I'm not saying he will, but I'm just saying, you understand, when you get to your first thing, because we're not talking because you're not going to get there. We're talking because I know you're going to get there.
Okay.
So remember that. Yeah. Okay. So we're talking now just before you're going to get there. So we're talking now. I want you to look at the picture. And when you see that picture, I want you to think that's where I want to be.
Okay. Gotcha. I will
Yeah?
do that. The
Okay.
poster.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Dad, help me out on this one too.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Now, are we going to read the next question?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. What would be your advice for me to get to be at pro level? At like a pro level for soccer?
I think the things that we talked about, you understand, what I already like about you is that you asked me about the foreign. So that means that you, in your mindset, what is the country that you wanted to play? Where do you want to play? You say like professional football. Where do you see yourself? What is your favorite competition? Where do you like? Tell me.
And let's see.
You said Barcelona, so that's in Spain.
Yeah, in Spain, pretty much, maybe.
Okay.
Spain.
No. You stand behind your choice. I like a man like you that has strong choices. Stand behind it. If it's Spain, say to yourself, it's Spain. Don't
Yeah.
worry about the maybe. We go about the yes, that's what I want. Okay, so if you look at Barcelona, you want to go to Spain, so you know that you're gonna go abroad. So
Yeah.
that's one of the key things, you know, that you already have, and that what I like. So I want you to keep that in mind. That picture stays strong. You have the country picture in your mind, and then I want you to make sure that the training things that I told you your dad, you know, like how the count of keeping the ball up, I told you things that I told you how to help people out. So like if you play in the center, because I only talk left, but I also talking right. Because if the guy on the left is really fast, you got to tuck in and help him out. If the guy's on the right side and you got to help your left defender, yeah, maybe you tuck in a little bit and know what can I do to making sure that I see things happening before it happens. That's your job. And of course, you got to stop your own man, because you cannot help anybody if you cannot handle your own player.
Yeah.
So I want you to work on those things, because those things will make you a better player, and that will make you advance in what you want to achieve. And I think you can achieve that. So if I think it, I want you to think it. I don't
Okay.
want you to. If I ever talk to you again, I never want you to say to me, maybe I don't know. I want you to say, yes, I wanna play in Spain.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanna play for Barcelona. That's what I want.
I'm already
Yeah.
going. So
What do you say?
I'm
I'm
excited to go to Spain.
I'm already excited that I'm going to Spain and I get to play against some pretty high clubs like um in a tournament
Atletico.
there, like Atletico and other clubs like that. I get to play against them, so I think I'm gonna watch a lot of their games to see how they play out there, to see if I make a mistake in my first game, to see how I can improve against other teams.
Woo! I like that. That's what I like. You know what I like, the way you talk is it says to me that you want to learn a lot, and also that you respect anybody that's around you. That whatever they achieved, how can I make myself better? If you keep asking yourself that question, believe me, you will get better.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
okay. I'll read the next question.
Yeah.
What was the biggest, most important game you played in your career?
The biggest, the most important game that I played, there are two. I'm going to tell you two. Okay, my debut when I was at Ajax, I was a young kid sitting in the underground, and coming out of the underground, it's like in New York, you have a metro. I don't know, but I'm sure your dad can explain it to you. The metro in Amsterdam goes under. It's like similar, like, okay, I don't want to call it the train, but it has a little bit of a train, and I'm sure you're familiar with trains, right? Because you know what? Okay, it's similar to it, but it's not the same. So it goes under and then it comes out. And when it came out, they were building the Ajax stadium,
Mm-hmm.
and at that time, I was watching it as a kid. All the time I was going by, and I was saying to myself, I hope I can make my debut one day. And I go past it. So I think they took a couple of years to build it. And on the day of the opening of the stadium, maybe 3 days before, I found out that I had to be on the bench at the first team, and I ended up making my debut at the
Oh,
Ajax opening of the stadium. So what I'm saying to you is that that was one of the biggest dreams of me, because I made my debut on the day when they opened the stadium, and it was the first game I played. And I remember, I never forget that day, because we played against AC Milan. And I never forget to coming on the field, and I played against a guy called George Weah. He's now the president actually of his country. It's unbelievable how amazing, from a football player to a president and running a country. I think that's incredible. But for me, it wasn't because he's the president, but it was more because he was one of the best players in the world. So it was like he was like idolized. I don't want to say he's like Messi, but he was at that level, and he was definitely, you understand. Uh, uh, yeah, people looked at him as good, but maybe the achievement of Messi were like, you understand, we cannot compare it, so that's why I won't. But for him to be one of the greatest players, and then of course becoming a president, but just being one of the greatest players and me coming on, I was nervous. I'm telling you, Cyrus, I was nervous. I came on the field. I literally came from school, and because in the mornings I would go to school, and in the evening we had to play. So I was just nervous in the sense of like what I do, and I came on for 15 minutes, and that was my debut at Ajax, and I think that was great. And my my other achievement was that I wanted to make sure that I never retired without playing for Holland at a big tournament. So I went to the Euros, And playing at the Euros, I was my last time was 2008.
Yeah.
It was the feeling because I said to myself, I will not retire football without playing a big tournament. It's impossible. I said to myself, it's impossible. I cannot, because I will not understand what it feels to play at a big tournament. And I wanted that as the experience. So those are the two things you see I'm highlighting for you. The beginning of my career, and I'm highlighting you playing for my national team. So I'm saying those are the two things that I always wanted, and I went for it.
That's pretty good goals, yeah.
Yeah?
Pretty cool. Okay. When you are a professional soccer player, how much time did you spend training and what kind of training?
Ooh, okay. So this is like, okay. So I had a running coach. When I was a pro, even when I was at Chelsea, I'm going to tell you a little secret that I haven't, told a lot of people. So when I was playing at Chelsea, I was living in London, but my coach was in Amsterdam. And my coach, his name was Klaas. And what I did sometimes, if I knew that we were off on Wednesday at Chelsea, I would sometimes fly in on a Tuesday evening,
Yeah.
take the plane in to Amsterdam. It's not far. It takes me like 15 minutes. Fly in, spend the night there, go and wake up in the morning, go running with him, and take the flight back to London and be there on Wednesday and Thursday. I had to train again in London. I would do that, especially when we only had one game in a week, or if I wasn't picked to be the first choice in the team, because I wanted to be fitter than anybody in my team. So this is the things that what I did. So that's why I haven't told a lot of people, but I had to do that because he told me, because he even told me, like, after my career, he said I wasn't allowed to put on weight that was too much. So that's why I'm always running. I'm always staying fit because he told me that. So I'm still having him in my head. And I see him now when I go to Amsterdam, I always meet up with him because he was my real trainer. And I'm going to tell you why he was my real trainer. He was my real trainer because he wanted the best for me. He was like, sometimes you see trainers, right?
Yeah.
Do they really want you to be the best? Cyrus, you have to ask yourself, and your dad is there too, you have to ask yourself, does the coach really want me to be better than what I am already? And sometimes you can also ask the coach, what do you want my son to learn? And how long is it going to take him to learn that? A lot of parents don't do that. Why not? Ask the coach, go to him and say to him, what do you want my coach, what do you want my son to learn? Like, I have told you already a couple of things, right? And I'm not
Yeah.
with you every day. But it doesn't matter. But I can see things. So your dad can also go to the coach and say, like, what do you think my son has to get better at? And the
Yeah.
coach tells your dad about you, and then you go and practice it. Because that's very important. Because sometimes, if not, you're going to have a coach that just stands there and tells you, yeah, everybody warm up, everybody pick up the ball now, and we're going to shoot on the goal. Yeah, but okay. And then, okay, we're going to play a game. You go in your position, you go in your position. Okay, good, okay. No, but what is good? Why am I standing here? What am I doing good? What should I do better? What can I do better? Maybe you have to be better in headers. Maybe you have to be better in controlling the ball faster. Maybe you have to practice with your dad that you have to throw the ball to your feet. So you have to control the ball and turn away. You have to do more of that. It takes too long because the ball is not under control if it's not dead on the floor. If it's still bouncing, it's not a good ball. You're not controlling it. Because that means that the ball when it bounces is for everybody. But the ball when it's still on the floor, it's for you. And you want to know, how can I be better at what I'm doing? And I want to make sure, challenge your coach too. Dad, please challenge his coach.
Yeah.
Make him
Yes.
work harder. Make your coach work harder. That's why he calls your coach. Make him work harder. Say, like, and you're not there. I'm not talking for Jack or Jill or whoever is on your, Peter or whoever is on your team. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about Cyrus. And my focus is only on you. I don't worry about anybody else. So I want you to become a better player than what you are already. So we're going to go to your coach and your dad's going to ask him, what do you want my son to be better at? And then you and your dad are going to practice on that. Deal?
Yeah, deal.
That's what we want.
Cool.
I feel like my coach is a pretty good coach, though. I feel
Good?
like
Good?
everybody knows him from. If we go to a tournament, they'll know who he is. Like one time we went to a tournament, we had entered Flight 2 in Cerritos Cup,
Yes.
but then they put us in Flight 1 because our coach, and from the coach past time, from the past time, his teams were really good that he coached, so they always enter Flight 1 and win. So they entered us in Flight 1 instead of Flight 2. But he challenges me a lot.
Okay, that's good. That's good. But you see now, so then, perfect. If this is a coach that you like a lot and you think he's very good, then you have to go and talk to him. Because you know why? Because he loves you already. If he loves you already, that means that he can make you an even better player. That's perfect. Because you're also going to meet coaches that don't like you.
Yeah.
But don't worry about that. Because in your football career, you have to remember, if they don't like you, at least they motivate you. You know why?
Yeah.
Because you know in your mind, he doesn't like me. So I have to make sure that I always play good, because if not, he's not going to look at me. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because I had that a lot, huh? Not every coach liked me. Not every coach liked me. But it didn't matter, because I had my dream. I wanted to stand on the field and have my Argentina jersey on and hear Cyrus. That's all I was thinking about. I was thinking about, so that's what I want you to think about. Me, I had the Holland jersey on, but you have the Argentina jersey on. But you only focus on that. That's all. Even if the guy doesn't like you, you go after your dream. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any
Um,
more questions?
I
One
did.
last one.
This is my last one. What was it like playing in stadiums around the world?
Oh, okay. That's always interesting, you know. Like for me, there are a couple of stadiums that I played. I played in the Azteca Stadium. That's the one in Mexico. I don't know if your dad is familiar with that. That's the one where the legends played. You know, like Pele played there, Maradona played there, Hugo Sanchez played there. You know, like those were like names that they are not familiar with you, but I'm sure your dad can Google them. But they were like, I'm talking the best there is. And for me, the best World Cup I ever watched was 1986. That was for me like unbelievable. Like as a young kid, you know, like I was around your age, I was watching it and playing football on the street.
Mm-hmm.
So playing in different stadiums, it allows you to experience different things, because you have to imagine that at one stadium they love you and in the other stadium they're against you. And that feeling you just have to handle. You know, when you go to a stadium and you're at home, they're all cheering, Cyrus, Cyrus, Cyrus. And then in the next one, when you touch the ball, you hear boo. It does not matter. You know, like you just don't care. You just go to that stadium and you travel and you play the game. But the funny part is, you want to beat them.
Yeah.
That's all you care about. Even if the fans are against you, if you beat them, you just laugh. Let them scream, let them do what they want to do. And that's
Yeah.
why I say to you, like, going to different stadiums. I played Wembley too. Wembley was one of my dreams. I wanted to play in the Wembley Stadium. I end up, you like scoring and you like assisting. I scored a goal in the Wembley Stadium. That was one of my big achievements. Why? Because my family was sitting there. And I ran to the side and slid on my knees and celebrated the goal because my family was there. And I broke my foot twice in a row. And I thought I would never play football again. So I played for Chelsea at that time. And I played and I scored a goal and I was screaming out of happiness, but I couldn't hear my own voice, because I could only hear the fans scream. So that was one of my things of a different stadium. The story that I told you about the Azteca Stadium, I think I was 12. I was 12 years old or 13 years old. So I was a pretty young kid at that time. What else do we have? What other stadium I can talk about? Just, I mean, any stadium in England. Like I played at the Chelsea Stadium, the Wigan Stadium. I played at the Birmingham Stadium. The fans are very loud. It's good. I played, of course, Man United, the stadium, Liverpool Stadium. Oh, the Liverpool fans. You understand? Like, I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I'm telling you one thing, my friend. That stadium is exceptional. The way they scream is on a different level. But Man United is the same thing. You know, when you go to the Stadium of Dreams, as soon as you come on the field, you're like, wow, this is what you want. But the best things, nothing beats coming on the field and playing for the team that you signed for. So when you come onto the Chelsea pitch, if you come onto the Wigan pitch, if you come on they all love you. Oh, it's the best feeling, my friend. Nothing will ever stop. When you come into the arena at Ajax, you just feel like, wow, they are here because they all want to see me. And they all want to see Cyrus. You are here, you are standing on the field, and you look around you, and you say, I know my family is there, but all the other people are coming here because they want to see Cyrus play.
Yeah.
That is the most important thing. And I'm going to tell you right now, Cyrus, get yourself, I believe in you. This is the most important part for you. I believe in you. And for you to achieve what you want to achieve, it's for you to believe in it and for you to work on it every day.
Yeah.
If you do that every day, you will become better and better and better. And you have to keep making sure that you look at others that are better. Look at the country. If you want to play in Spain, watch some Spanish football. See, because Spanish players are technically very, very gifted. Very gifted. And very smart, very intelligent. Sometimes, look, if you push them, they can be a little bit soft. So sometimes they go on the floor very easy. But it's also because they're very smart. They know how to get you a yellow card or a red card. But the good part about them is, oh man, the way they play football, they technically very, very good in a small little space. So that's why I feel like what you want to play, look, for example, PK is a good one for you to watch, you know, and don't listen to other people. You cannot look at the rivals, no. Look at Sergio Ramos too. Because PK, for example, both of them are alpha man, right? An alpha man. Are you familiar with the alpha man?
Yeah.
Okay, so an alpha man is what you have to be. Because an alpha man stands up for himself. Don't let anybody boss him around. And if you want to play professional football, everybody in the room is alpha man. Trust me, they all are. Yes. And no one will ever, people will tell you they're not. No. Okay, one could be a bit less than the other one, but they all are. Because you all have to compete against each other and everybody wants to win.
Yeah.
A man that wants to win all the time, they become more alpha. Don't be a winner. When you retire, forget about winning because that's boring then. But when you are playing, you want to win all the time. So when you're playing that, so when you go to a country like Spain, I want you to remember, you're going abroad. You have to be strong and confident.
Okay.
Yeah?
I'll try to always be strong and confident.
Wait. I want you to be strong and I want you to be confident and I want you to like this conversation, you understand what we're having, and that's why I picked you, and I now your dad have a better understanding why I picked you, you understand, to talk to you, because I feel like young boys like you, I would have loved to have someone to talk to me with this. One more coming by. 1 second. The police, they love here, man. They love police here. Cyrus, so what I want for you is that you are on the understanding of the development of you becoming better every time, and I want you to work on it. And Dad, why I wanted to talk to him. Is your dad still there? Yeah.
Yes.
So, Dad, you know why I wanted to talk to him? It was also because when we this age, we don't always get the chance to talk to people that already lived the moment and went through the moment. Why not? What makes him different than when I was young. When I was 10 years old, I would have loved to have a moment like this. And not because it's me. I'm not talking, I wanted to talk to myself. No, I wanted to talk to a player that already achieved it. And that's what I wanted. You understand? And let me see, because someone is, uh, uh, yeah. So I wanted to have something to talk to someone and someone to take the time for me. And I feel like that's what's one of the most important things. And I think that's also for him, you know, like having the thing. Wait, let me just block this guy because he's the stock, is it?
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanted to for him to have the moment of like having the possibility to talk to someone and explain it to him what he wants to achieve. And he can. You can. Don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't. You can achieve what you want to achieve. You just have to work hard for it. That's all you have to do. That's the only thing I have to say. Work hard for it and you will get where you want to be.
Yeah, because we have like a gym in our garage, like, and that's where I usually do my training. Like, we have this, we have like bands for me to run on and a bunch of stuff for me to
Yeah?
go.
Ah,
So
that's good.
when I'm done doing the jogging, I probably usually will go in the gym after or outside to work on
Yeah?
foot or strength, for just like
Okay.
strength.
Yeah? So you train.
There's-
So Dad, what do you tell me something, you know, like how do you feel about you go and watch the games of him? You watch his training and stuff?
yeah, I'm at every training and we travel quite a bit just to try to get him the experience that he needs to play. He grew up playing in Southern California and then we moved to Idaho. So it's been a little bit different, but
Uh-huh.
we traveled quite a bit back to Southern California to play with his old coach. His old coach was probably one of the best in the nation for coaching. So that team that he played on, like he said, you know, they got to play in Manchester City Cup in San
Okay.
Diego. They won that cup, but they played Liverpool and Ajax, and so it was a tough tournament. So getting him and keeping him at that level of fitness and play has definitely been has been difficult at times, but you know, that's been his dream and his goal since he was about 5. So he started training and doing everything at about 5. And his grandpa played for semi-pro in Peru. So he's kind of like, which national team do I want to play for, Peru or the U.S.?
Ah,
So he's really, that's been a goal. So I told him ever since he was 5, I started training him and said, look, if that's your goal, we'll get you wherever you need to go and play wherever you need to play until you make that goal. So that's what he's been doing.
yeah, that's good. But then if he is, we have to pick the team or the country that he wants to play for because we talked about
Yep.
Argentina, but we cannot talk about Argentina, my
Yeah,
friend, if you're not from Argentina.
that's what I told him. I said, you're not from Argentina, but he
You,
loves Argentina so much. He
we
wants us.
no, it does not work like that. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I'm
But
so happy your dad is there. They're telling me
yeah,
that. So you have to listen, my friend. Cyrus, listen, I love you, kid, but it does not work like that, my friend. It works very simple. You either have to pick America, or you have to pick. You like your dad said, Peru. You can pick. You pick what you want, but it can only be something that is connected to you in the sense of from like blood wise or
Yeah.
living wise.
mhm.
So you pick what you want. Like I am 100% from Suriname, so I
Yeah,
can play for Suriname or for Holland. But I could not play and say I'm going to play for Spain or France. No,
yeah,
they would not allow me.
yeah. He's been watching Peru lately because they've been doing so well. He's really
Yeah,
excited about their
because
national
my
team.
mom was also born in Iran, so I could also play for
Iran.
Iran.
He's got
But
3 options.
yeah,
Oh, you get options. Oh my God. Okay, so you can think what listen, my friend, think about it. I want look the Messi picture what I ask you that, yes, please put that on
Yeah.
for him. But then we need another stadium too, my friend. We need another stadium. So
Hmm.
I think if we can pick Messi in the Barcelona stadium, so then we don't focus on the jersey.
yeah,
Yeah? So we leave the Argentina stuff out. So then we focus on Messi playing at Barcelona in the stadium, and you want to play that one day too. That's it. So you look at that dream all the time because Messi, whoa, what a player. But just have that in your mind. But you can't say to me, Argentina, my friend. Don't ever say that. I know. Listen. Look. If you pick one of the nations to play for, look, Argentina is not a bad choice, my friend. I totally understand that Brazil is also not a bad choice, but you cannot pick. Hey, man, bro, you're magical, man.
Yeah.
I love it. You're so cool. No, Cyrus, you can't do that. Okay, we have to make a deal, man. Hey, Cyrus, that dream have to go for us. Because that dream will not. Yeah, look. I want to take your mom and dad, but you are not from Argentina, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But man, hey guys, you honestly, man, I love this chat, man. We had such a cool conversation.
Much.
Yeah, Cyrus, I hope you're dead. Dad, I hope you like it. I hope you understand what we did. You understand, and I hope you understand why and what the picture was and what is the message behind why I wanted to talk to your son and why you had to be there, because I want always any parent being next to the child just to make sure out of like whatever, you understand. I also to write things down what I say, and maybe I give him advice. I don't want him to focus on that. I would like you to focus on that, because then together you are a team, and I know you spend a lot of time together. So that's what I wanted. And for him, look, when I was 5, I started playing football too. And you did the same like me. And they didn't want me because they said you have to be 6, but they allowed me to play because I was too young. But going back to that is, you just have the dream that I always had. And I love that. That's you no one can ever, anytime you hear someone saying to you, Mario said this or that about you, you can say you're lying, because Mario told me he liked what I do. Deal?
Yeah.
You don't trust anybody that says that, because I say to you now in your face, I love what you're doing. And I want you to believe in yourself. And I want you to think that you will be the professional footballer that you want to be. Mm-hmm. And I want you to remember the answer to you becoming a pro is in yourself, not in someone else. It's in you. If you don't work hard, then I cannot help you. But if you work hard to become better, and don't work only hard, work smart. Smart. Mm-hmm. Because a hard worker doesn't mean he's going to be a professional footballer player. But a smart worker, that is the one that becomes a pro. Because if you just work hard, they can put you outside and run behind the cows, and it doesn't really happen, right? But if I put you on a football field and I make you go around the people and dribble, don't be just a hard worker. Because in the world, we have enough hard workers. But make sure you hard and smart.
Yeah.
Deal? Okay, I give always a fist bump to my people. So I give you one too, my brother. Cyrus, give me a fist bump. Yes, that's how we do, man. Hey, man. Hey, guys, you understand? This was I loved it. You understand? Your dad, the way we, like the guy set up the emailing, talking to your dad. Guys, I really appreciate it. Cyrus, is there anything you extra want to say to me, or Dad, you want to say anything, please?
Thank you. And were you nervous when you played your first professional game? Were you nervous when you first got onto the field?
Yes, I was very nervous. You know what I did? I did too long of a warm-up. My warm-up was too long. I was in Amsterdam. I was running so much, and when I had to come on, I was too tired. I was like, what did I do? So the next time when I made my debut, I never did that again. I made myself warm, but not tired. So if you warm up and you're going to be a professional, you're going to come on, don't run too much to be tired. Only warm up. Be ready to make a sprint, but don't make 10 sprints like I did. And then come on and you cannot even make one. Deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
The time, man, and really appreciate this opportunity for him to be able to speak with someone like you. This is really awesome, and thank you for doing that. I think this is great that you do this with the kids.
Yeah.
it's a for them.
No, man. Thank you, man. I really like this is because I'm compared to anything, we are nobody, man. We just the guys that live the dream, and guys like your son want to achieve it, and we should give them the opportunity to talk to people like that, because you know why? Sometimes they meet a coach or someone else that makes it impossible. It's not
Yeah.
impossible. Everything is possible.
Yeah.
Everything is
Yeah.
possible. That's how I see it. Because you had dreams too. I had dreams too. Even if I wasn't a football player, I have a dream. You understand?
Yeah.
But we don't always have possibilities. And I want your son to have that possibility. Now, he never have to ask anything, to never be worried about if you see a pro or if you see. Just remember, what do you want to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
worry about anybody else. Yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
guys. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, man. I appreciate it. Have a good
Appreciate
day.
you
And
too,
Yeah.
Mark.
hey, thanks for everything. Yeah?
We
Yes.
appreciate it.
Thank you a lot.
Bye,
Okay,
Mario.
guys. Have a good one. See ya.